Sorry, I'm just in a good mood.
Right? Google 3K. How could you not be in a good mood?
I'm just happy for JD, you know? A little upset for Watch, but
Did everyone make
hey.
their money back yet? 3009, baby.
They gonna handle that?
Damn.
All right, we are live. We are live in this. We are live in Discord and we are live on YouTube.
Are we still gonna bounce back screen sharing? Are we just gonna do it through Discord?
Yeah. So.
Like if we do switch at some point.
Yeah. Hold on one sec. Sorry. Get this. Where are we?
Sorry, y'all. We're trying new stuff, you know.
No, we're good to go. So we are live on YouTube. Here is the link for YouTube. We are also live in Discord. Well, it didn't drop the link. What the heck? Give me one sec. Come on. Copy to clipboard. There we go. I just dropped a link to join us on YouTube. Or you can join us live in Discord. And yes, we are looking at your screen, Richie. So you're good to go to start if you'd like.
On YouTube as well?
Yep.
You can see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, dope. Well, start with some headlines and a little news. Just glaze over this real quick. You know, obviously here doing options, you know, don't have to dig in too deep to any of these.
Discord.
I can hear some feedback.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, anyway. Feds and rate hike. Yes, we know all of this. AMD. Yep. We love it. We love it. PayPal. We saw this earlier today as well. Nothing too crazy. Oh, Tom Brady. No one look at this. No one look at this. We'll hear the latest. Usually the same things, but sometimes a couple extra in there. PayPal's up. Here you go. Here you go. Watch. Lacks anything redeeming. Starbucks. Anyone trying to play some bucks? And nothing too crazy. Oil prices could reach 100 this year. A lot of times when equity and market starts to go down, a lot of people, big money, will move their money to things like gold and oil, treasuries. So maybe something to watch here. I'd like to also float over here to the economic calendar. Tomorrow is the 2nd. It's like nothing too wild here. And the usual Thursday, initial jobless claims. And some non-farm payroll. Maybe one to watch here on Friday, but nothing too wild this week. We gotta also check in with Uncle Powell. See what the Federal Reserve's got here. And nothing out of the ordinary. a lot of times too, I'll come check this for the Federal Reserve, but also sometimes you'll get something in here with Market Watch that isn't on the Federal Reserve. I always like to check both. But all right, let's dive into the market here. So this is kind of my filtering screen for names. I will punch a name into here, check out squeezes real quick, check out Ichimoku Cloud. I try to play things that are typically coming on or off daily or 4-hour Ichimoku, as well as daily or 4-hour squeezes. Stronger squeezes, the better. And I can see my levels here. I've got the 15 in green, the daily 8 here in this teal, 200 is this blue, and the mean is this dashed tan one. But all right, so ES coming off really strong from last week, base here really nicely. We did start to kind of call the bottom here last week as we had some really strong legs down as well as recoveries. And sure enough, we broke these squeezes here to the upside. YM and NQ, of course, looking very similar as all indexes move together. For tomorrow, again, let me pull up these drawings. Getting a little crowded in here as we are moving a lot. But I'm looking for a move here, maybe to the daily 50 or last week's high. Depending where we open, we're here within the daily Ichimoku cloud. Pretty thin cloud. So hopefully it shouldn't be too much work to just blast through. Something I did see earlier is that this weekly squeeze is still intact. We got really close to firing it down. And again, many times we see, especially in these larger time frame squeezes, before making the actual move to break the squeeze, many times we will test the extreme other side. So again, and we've seen it many times before, right? Well, we dip, and then just rip back to all-time high and through. So something to definitely watch out for, especially here with tech reporting earnings. And as we saw already, Google and AMD just absolutely flying. NVIDIA and Facebook have also caught some love, but we will get to that, of course. Again, so tomorrow, maybe looking for a retest of this daily cloud bottom here. And a pickup up to the daily 50. Kind of a big move, but again, we have some big tech earnings, so definitely possible. And Q. Again, similar scenario as all these markets, of course, run together. Looking for a move here. Maybe back down to the daily 200 into the daily 21. Take off. We got point of control above and some hard levels to get through. September and August point of control from last year and up to last week's high. Again, we got daily Ichimoku above. Came down here, really tested the bottom of this weekly squeeze, and are now making our way back up. And again, market is now recovering from a really strong down move. There is no like market has to do this or has to do that, right? Just because we've had 3 strong days does not mean we won't have a 4th and 5th strong day. So again, while we're holding this trend, we are looking to buy dips up to this cloud. Again, really like this bounce off the weekly Ichimoku cloud as well. Really nice level of support here. See if we get a continuation. And okay, hop over to YM. Again, coming out of the same consolidation, looking for a similar move here. Got the daily 50 up above as well as last week's high. Really liking this level of last week's high for all indices as a target here for the rest of the week. Again, looking for maybe a pullback back to the mean, and then we go forward from there. This December point of control is also pretty recent, so again, a level 2 watch out for. But again, same kind of deal here. Really pushing this weekly squeeze bottom. Nice recovery, and we should see a nice blast through the top. This daily Ichimoku cloud, again, nice area to cross through. Gonna get very little resistance to blast through here. We'll see how we do tomorrow. Maybe we duck back under, but again, looking for a continuation here. But all right, let's start hopping into some names. And again, if anyone has any questions or wants to point anything out or whatever, please say so in the chat. Got it open, or you can also just say something.
Yeah, Richie, I don't know if before you jump into prep, if you might want to cover, I don't know, like the last day or so, maybe some of these calls that we have provided in predicted trades, some of those plays that we talked about today.
Yeah, let's do that. So I've actually got this little screen here. And let me make sure I have the right studies up before I start showing anything I shouldn't be showing. And we can pull up a call and a puts. Should we do some SPY? What are the examples we talked about earlier today? Let's see.
Here, let me pull them up.
Yeah, I'm looking at right now. SPY. It goes the 450 call. That was nice today.
Yeah, there was the 450 call today. I think the 455 call for Friday's expiration is one we've been tracking.
I was also playing this 450 put today. Let me see this. No, maybe not. Oops. Let's see. 450 was 75 and about 50 cents. So I'm just going to, whoops, throw that up. I'm sure I have the right strike here. Oh, this is for the
Today.
I know I was taking up Fridays, might be. Whoops. Oh no, today's day is like not nice. Stressful.
Are you trying to look at Mondays or something?
What's today? Tuesday?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
you
Friday.
want.
I had it right, yeah.
Yeah, you want 0202.
What the fuck?
There you go. And then you'll want to load the burger at the least.
The burger. Okay. Yeah, let me pop that up separately then. Just you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. Okay. And whoops, not that one. God.
No, not that one.
Intraday. Is it not this one?
Yeah, it's that one.
No, but that's
No,
not the one.
it's the one you just added, but
Oh. I thought I had one with just the burger, but I guess not. That's okay.
it is.
Okay. Actually, do you want to take over for
Yeah, here.
this?
Yeah, I'll drive.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll come back for the names. Am I just killing you and taking over?
No, no, you're good. Let me just make sure I can get the right screen up. All right. Come on. There we go. Can you guys see my screen?
Not yet.
I'm sharing my screen on Discord, and I think it's showing up in YouTube. Here, Richie, end your stream. There we go. All right, can you guys see my screen now?
Yes.
All right. So, for instance, let's see, this 450 SPY call for today hit its beast zone last Friday when everything started to rally and move back up. Could have got in, around 40, 50 cents. Today, those hit about 420. And you can see how every day we had an actionable level to play off of. The bottom beast to top beast, same thing. Going into Monday, you could have played off of burger bottom to top. So, like, we had some questions today talking about how can we plan out these trades? How can we measure these trades? And it's by using everything that we output every night to you guys. I output the beast chains and the PTs, and you use those to punch into the indicator and put on your options chart to end up getting, this beast zone and burger deal. Is everyone following me so far? Let's go ahead and drop a thumbs up in general chat. to make sure folks are following me, at least to understand. Okay. So, when you guys punch in the beast numbers for these strikes, so let's go ahead and look. SPY 450 call for today. Beast number 50 cents, 75 cents, right? 50 cents at the bottom, 75 cents at the top. If you punch that into your tools, you will end up seeing the beast zone, which is our major buy zone, and you'll end up seeing what we call the burger, right? So here, just to give you an idea, let me turn this off. All right, looks like we're getting some questions. Which script do we use? Where do we find the script? So let me pull that up real quick. Sorry, I got a little bit of lag going on. So just trying to pull up Discord. All right, let me drag this over. So here on the 3rd of January, this is the most up-to-date tool. You'll want to use this tool to get the beast zone with the burger. So definitely use the most up-to-date beast zone tool, which is the one from January 3rd. Once you load that indicator onto your options chart, you'll end up getting a beast zone. Mine's a little more dynamic, but yours should end up giving you a major buy zone, the beast zone, which if you punch in the numbers, it was like 50 cents and 75 cents, right? So that's our major buy zone down here. Then it will also give you what is the burger. So let me turn the burger on. Let me turn the major buy zone off. Okay. All right, so let's listen and pay attention now, because I am seeing like questions being asked about the exact thing I'm talking about right now, okay? So let's hold on. I need to.
Mr. Double D's, if you can mute your mic, please, thank you.
There, just server mute anybody that kind of cuts in, sorry. So right now you are looking at what we call the burger and only the burger. I turned off the beast zone, which is again from 50 cents to 75 cents, but I've turned it off from view. What you're looking at now is what we refer to as the burger. We just refer to it as this to make it easy to understand the different parts, because there is a top zone, a bottom zone that we refer to as the top bun, bottom bun of the burger, and then a middle, which we refer to as the patty of the burger. Why do we call it the burger and these silly things? It's just organically what's come up. Overall, what it is, these are support and resistance levels on your options chart. So coming into Friday, coming into Monday, if you wanted to play this strike for Wednesday's expiration, the 450s, you would go get your beast number. SPY 450, beast number is 50 cents, 75 cents. Notice I'm not talking about PTs. I'm talking about just the beast number. That is the most important thing that you need for this tool to properly display the beast zone and the burger. The idea with the burger is as price action moves away from the beast zone, this burger moves with it. It is similar math, and it will provide a daily support and resistance zone with the top and bottom. All of these levels should just be played as support and resistance. If we open above the bottom, if we open up at the top, you can try to play off of the top. Once it gives out, you'd want to wait till it gets to the bottom. Then you'd try to play the bottom back up to the top. Bottom to top, over and over. Here on Monday, it opened right near the bottom, so it's an immediate buy, and you play it up to the top. You can even catch it off of a bounce. You can put an order here to play it again. If it falls below that level, obviously get out and buy back here, a low. The whole idea is the burger is just actionable levels to play as support and resistance as the price action moves around them. So today on this call, the market sold off first. So it moved up a little, tops out at the top, falls back to the bottom where we buy. You could have played this once, twice, 3 times, 4, 5, 6 times today, getting in repeatedly at $2.20, the top of the bottom zone, which is just the buy zone for today. And you could have hit this 6 times for about $1 here, $1 there. Ultimately, it did go a complete double from this 220 to 440. Now this happened across the board. Let's look at the 445 for this Friday, which we started reporting out last week as far as PTs go. But we also, you can just use the PTs, but those are just like the top strikes at the time that I output them. And things are always moving, we're always gapping. That's why I output the beast chains, so that you can have all the strikes with the beast numbers, right? So at any point, if you while we're waiting on this to load, at any point, you come to beast chains, you come to SPY, and you load that file. At any point from last Friday up to today, you could have seen all of these strikes. Actually, from probably a week or 2 ago, these numbers have been getting output. Let me pull this over. Come on. Here. So I output beast numbers for multiple expirations into the future, so that you don't have to play just this week's strikes, and you don't have to play just 0-day strikes. We aim for those because they're the absolute best risk to reward. But as you can see, I'm outputting pretty much a full week or so out on SPY. So since last week, you could have been looking at the February 2nd expiration, the beast numbers, which is what you need to input into the tool to track those strikes and those trades, right? So the 455s, they're way out here. The 450s are out here, right? We started tracking those last week. The 455s. Sorry, let's just pull it back up. The 455s for Friday had a beast of 25 cents, 50 cents. Nice and easy. So if we come back over here and look, right here is about 25 cents. Right here is about 50 cents. So right here at the bottom on Friday, before we started this rally up, the calls for this Friday, 455, hit their beast. The calls for today, Wednesday, 450 calls hit their beast. So if you're using the data that we output and entering it into these strikes and tracking these strikes day in, day out, you're going to see interactions with beasts, you're going to see interactions with burgers, and that's how we plan out trades, that's how we execute. So if you were aiming at the 455 call last week, at any point, the 455 call for this Friday, you could have been tracking it, and once the market set in a bottom, you could have picked it up off of Beast for 25 to 50 cents. Today they hit 250, so there's a 5x. And each day you could have been playing these off of their intraday beast, their burgers. So right here you got in on Monday for 75 cents, up to a double, $1.50. Even today you could have played it off of the bottom, $1.35 up to 215, $1.60 up to 260. So case in point being, we output all this data so that you can go out and plan these trades. Right now, we're looking at this 455. Let's say you wanted to play this for tomorrow. You're trying to plan, you're trying to plot it out. If you go down to your tools, if you go to this little pointer, it allows you to drag to the right so that you can see more of this chart. And as you get to tomorrow, why isn't it? There we go. Here's tomorrow. Here's where tomorrow's zones are. So you're going to plan out, I'd want to pick this up for $2 and play it up to $3. You can measure that that's what the potential of this move is for tomorrow based on where these zones are falling. And yes, they plot forward in time, so we can plan this out better. So let's just, one more for instance. I played the Tesla 1000 call today. We'll give that a second. Oh, there we go. Okay. So Tesla 1000 call had a beast of 175 to 375. We'll just go ahead and mark 175. There's 170. And we'll mark 375. Right about there. So, came into beast zone. Here, turn this off. Came into beast zone last Friday, like most things. They buy it, they sell some off so that they're playing with profits. They load at the bottom. We start moving up, right? So we got the beast zone interaction last Friday. And now if we, come on. We turn this back on so that we can see our burger. There we go. Today I played this call. It fell down from the patty, the middle of the burger, fell down to support. I played that first bounce, got in at about 420, got out at about 550. I reloaded again down at 350, right at about 350. It was in the buy zone. It was just under the beast level of 375. It also aligned well with this previous price action. So I threw an order out at 350, played it from the bottom burger back up to the patty. So played that from 350 up to $7 and $8 at the high, right? So just like this is plotting tomorrow, this was plotting today's before today started. So I knew, depending on where the price action opens, to wait for our buy zone. I hit it once with a little profit, hit it again, lock some up, left runners, lock some up, and you could have played it again off of that level and again off of that level, and it ultimately closed above. I swung these. Basically, I'm looking for a gap up, and tomorrow for these to open above at the top zone and to push out. So we'll see what happens there. But just wanted to give a brief overview of, the beast chains that we output contain strikes, expirations out the wazoo, so that you guys have plenty of beast numbers which drive this whole machine, right? The PTs are nice and they are very accurate profit targets based on the beasts that get updated over time as price action comes down to beast and bounces and goes back up. But the PTs are only always going to be limited strikes, kind of the highest volume strikes that are the targets for where we're trying to get to when it comes to the PTs. Whereas on the beast chains, you're able to look around at all the strikes and get the beast numbers, which are the important numbers, so that you can play whatever strike you want as we call out certain strikes that we're watching, right? And then I guess just like a quick, how do we pick our strikes? I'm mainly looking at technical analysis on the equity, and I'm looking at what are the big volume strikes that are out there, right? For some reason, there's 12,000 almost on this 160. 160 is a pretty key number. We could get back there at some point. I'm not saying that that's one that I'm looking at necessarily right now. Just this is how I look around and pick strikes. Let's look at Tesla. That'll be kind of a better one, because everyone is looking at Tesla. And you'll notice, boom, here's 50,000, 10,000, 10,000, 70,000. Why is that important? Because they are targets where they might want to take price action. 1,000 is a big key number for Tesla. Getting back to that is a thesis, right? Playing Tesla back up to 1,000 is a thesis. And we know that there are a lot of people out there watching that strike and playing it. Big money accounts for a lot of this volume, right? So that's why I watch the further out strikes. That's why I pick the strikes I do. When I output predicted trades with the profit targets, it's going to be these key strikes that are near and out of the money, because I want to see where are they trying to take it to. I showed an example on the 1000s where it hit beast today and bounced, and it stayed above beast and it closed above beast. That's big money defending the buy zone that they should defend the strike they want to take it to. We can come up with a thesis to say, if they buy up this strike when it hits the beast zone, it means they want to take it to this number. Doesn't mean we always get there by expiration, but general rule is, if the strike you're watching, once it hits beast zone, they start to buy it and it bounces, chances are they want to take it to that strike. So, just a brief overview. The beast numbers, the beast chains provide you all strikes with the numbers that you need. The special numbers in this system are the beast numbers, and they're all on the beast chains. When it comes to the predicted trades, they're the specific strikes I'm going to be looking at. And if I'm outputting the 1000s and you want the 120s, well, it's on your beast chains for you to be able to go get the number you want. And I'll happily kick it out through the predicted trades bot so that you have all of the levels that you need. At any point, feel free in the PT channels to say, hey, can I get this strike? And I'll add it. But that's just kind of a brief overview of how you can use the beast numbers we output with the indicator to plan out trades in advance, to plan when you're going to take action, when you're going to start buying, when you're going to start selling, so that the whole trade can be planned out. Now, let me move back to chat, get off my soapbox, and see if that is making sense for some folks out here. All right, so it looks like Nasir asked, it seems to me the burger zones are calculated without any input of beast bottom or beast values. That is incorrect. The beast bottom and the beast numbers are the key numbers that need to be input into the tool for the burger to work properly. For it to plot these buy and sell zones that get so well respected, you absolutely need the beast bottom and the beast number input into the tool. And yes, you are noticing that on my chart, it auto plots. That is just the nature of the beast. On our side of the fence, things auto plot. On your side of the fence, you have to input the numbers that we output. Trust me, I would love it if I could hand you guys the tools, but the way that TOS works, the inability for me to lock down code and intellectual property, I'm not going to be doing it. I'm not going to be handing out the auto plotting tool. This is the distribution method that we have in place, where I output the numbers to you, you input the numbers into your tool. I've made it as painless as I can to where you guys can input the special numbers, the secret sauce, right? And get it to plot the exact same way that it does for us. So, you know, let's pick something that didn't go crazy on earnings, but, you know, let's say you wanted to play the Netflix 450s for tomorrow. I haven't even looked at them lately. I don't even know what they're doing. I just know Netflix has been going up. So let's just look at the 450s for this week. Let's let it load. Oh yeah, Netflix has been going nuts. I know CA has been killing it. So again, last Friday, this strike, which used to be kind of far out the money. Let's go back. On Friday, slow fade to our buy zone where it sits, gets loaded up. We get our gap up. It opens near the top burger. It's kind of hard to see, but if you look at that candle, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit on it. That first candle ran all the way up to the burger top and came back. They love to do this so they can load it up right there. So again, even though we are way above the burger bottom where we like to buy it, and sorry, let me get rid of this because it's, come on. Let me get rid of this because it's giving that big white zone down there. There we go. So yeah, we opened up way above the bottom burger, but we opened up at the top burger. We run up and hit the top of that zone and pull back to the bottom of that zone. So you can take entry off of this level and play the 70 cents up to 240, right? It already proved it could do it once, 70 cents up to $1.70. I love these candles. It's a foretelling of what it's going to do next, right? But let's just look around some more at how it interacted on this zone. So you could have bought in for 70 cents, knowing that you can get up to about 175. So it's a double and a buck. I can measure if I enter here and go to here what those prices are. You could have played it up there. Once we're above it, you could have re-entered to risk off this top level. Obviously risking against these recent lows or the bottom. Played that up. When it came back to tap it again, you play it again. Now looking at today. Today on this strike, opens up in the top, fades to the bottom. You could have picked it up for 240. It rips back to the top. I always love to lock up once we get there. It pulls back for one more load, almost at that level. And from 240 to 5 or 6, and from 470 up to 13, right? Now tomorrow, this is our zone. These could open at 10 or 11, get bought up and go there. If they open below 10 or 11, once they get here, they might reject and they might start heading down. I don't know, but I do have levels to play against. She could gap up. If there's a pullback on the gap up and these land right about here, might be a good point to risk them to keep going higher, right? So, yeah, for any strike that you want to play, if you enter that strike specific specific beast numbers, you will get all of this to plot the same way it does for us. Let's look at the NVIDIA 250 call. How do you get the B-bot and beast numbers in the watch list column? Hank, to answer that, you don't, and you won't get the beast bot and beast in your columns in TOS. You do, however, get them output every day in the files that I provide. So you won't get the columns in your TOS, but you do get the columns every day in the files provided. All right, here's this new, I see a couple more questions getting typed. So as we look at this NVIDIA 250, it had a beast of 60 cents, a bottom of 60 cents, a beast of $1. Here's 50 cents, here's $1. It's like before I say what the beast is, you can probably guess Friday it landed right in that beast zone and took off. But there you go, 50 cents to $1. Finally lands there Friday, gets bought up, profit taken, bought up again. This is very common in the beast zone, especially after it's been weeks living above the beast zone. Then it gets there, they buy it up, they take profit, they buy it up again. We gap and go. Very, very common. So these 250s on NVIDIA, if you only took one trade this week, these would have gone pretty well for you. They open, above the patty. You can buy right in, or you can let them go. Let them have a pullback, right here, risking off of this 160, 175-ish, risking back to about 120-ish, so risking like 50 cents in this gap to move back up, right? So if you enter there at 175, they got up to about $3, about 350, so that's a double. So again, you're risking on this entry, this candle I'm in, as it pulls back to the bottom of this zone, which can be treated as a buy zone once price action is above it. You can enter near the bottom of it, risking basically back to the lows, back to the patty, 50 cents down to make a $1.50, $1.75, $2 up, right? Ultimately, those are your last chances to pick it up at those prices. Today that got up to about $6.50 on the gap up, but again, falls back, starts to settle and interact with our buy zone. Definitely some trades to be had here, you know. Every time it went back over into the buy zone, you could have entered there with a measured how much you can make to the first point of rejection. You can re-enter once it gets back above there, playing up to the next point of rejection. So each of these levels, very important, and you can play off of them with basic supply and demand rules. If price action is above them, wait for it to pull back. Play it off of that, risking against the next. If price action is below, wait for it to break above it, or wait for it to resist it to know that you weren't supposed to get into that trade. You know, that kind of thing. All right. It sounds like each side of the burger bun and the patty, 5 different levels, are support and resistance for the options price. How do we anticipate whether price will go to the patty or stop at the burger bun? I mean, we cannot necessarily anticipate just because I entered here, it will go to the patty, or just because I enter here, it will go to the top bun. We can only watch and react to these levels. They are all very key. So, you know, if you enter here at the top, at the bottom of the top bun, you're playing up to the top. Each level, you know, I'm entering this level, risking against the next to get up to the next. I'm entering at this level, risking against the one below to get further up. If the day opens, like some of these that we looked at, if the day opens and the price is right in the bottom, I just buy it. I just buy it knowing I'm risking, wherever I am in that zone, I'm risking falling out of that zone. So if it would have opened here at 35 cents, I would have bought, not even double checking anything, I'd have bought, and if it fell out of the zone, I'm out. But it should hold. Once it gets to the first one, I'm locking some profit. Once it gets to the next one, I'm locking some profit, so on and so forth. What was like that Tesla play today? Because I locked that one up repeatedly. Oh, while we wait for that to load, let's see. Is a beast bottom to beast zone more or less important compared to burger top? And simply put, they are all important key levels that you should play as support and resistance depending on where price action is. If a level is below current price action, it should be treated as support. If a level is above current price action, it should be treated as resistance. So don't get tripped up on, is the beast more important than the burger, more important than beast bottom, more important than profit targets. They're all key levels that you should play off of. This is a great example. This play today on Tesla. I bought right here for about 420 because we're in the buy zone. We didn't quite get to the beast, which was at 375, but we were showing signs on the market on Tesla for a potential bounce. So I entered right here at 420, somewhere around there. I played it up to the top zone. It overshot the top zone, so I let it run a little bit, but I locked up from here to there. And that was like $1.50, right? Then I waited and I let it fall, and now it's interacted with Beast, and now it's near the bottom. So I got right in there at 350. Mark, here's where 350 is. It fell down. It wicked up to 350, and as this started to go over 350, I hit that order button, get in at 350. I let it go through Beast. Once it got to the top of this zone, I locked some up. So from 350 to 525, lock some up. I don't even care if it's going to blast past. I'm locking up because I've captured from here to there, I'm locking up. I let it come back, base. When it gets up to this patty, can you guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to lock it up. I'm going to have an order already sitting out there and waiting. So how many contracts? Yeah, so they were at 350, picked up 3 of them, right? Picked up 3 of them, locked one at 550 once we broke over this line. Left the 2. Again, wasn't scared because my entry's way down here and I'm way up here and we're already starting to pop again. So I'm holding my other 2. I place an order at this line. Once we get up there, boom, I'm happy. And I've got 1 left. I place an order at the next line. If you want, you have a stop back where you got in. Start moving it up to where you just last locked. Start moving it up, you know. But that's how I trade off these levels. I hit this first pop, locked in a $1.50, got in again. We were below Beast. Look at this tight little range. We got the bottom of the bottom bun, $3 to $3.75. It enters in and leaves. So I get in there, lock some up, hold, lock some up at my key levels. I think some folks even played it later in the day when it came back and almost tapped it again. So again, from Beast to the top of that burger zone. Again, from Beast to top of that burger zone. So multiple times. All right, so answering some of these questions. How many contracts? It's all based on your account size and what you're comfortable doing. Sometimes I buy 10, sometimes I buy 2, sometimes I buy 1 as a feeler on the first play. Then when I feel more confident about the second play, I'll buy 3, 4, 5, you know. I think yesterday I played that put with you guys. I only picked up 1 of those, but when I hit the calls, I picked up like 4 or 5 of those. So it's all based on, at the moment, what I feels right for my risk tolerance.
But you should try to get into a nice little habit of buying like at least 2, right? One can cover the other one and allows you to go the distance,
Oh yeah.
you know, in these strikes, right? Because we're talking 500 to 600%. But if you're already covered, you know, in the ballpark of 100, 200%, you cover your entire position, you are going to get to that 600% without breaking a sweat, hopefully.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like I entered at 350. I locked up a bunch at a double. So the 1 or 2 that I left at that 350 entry, I'm not worried about them. They're paid for. I've already locked enough gains on this trade that if these open tomorrow at 50 cents for some reason, I'm not really going to sweat it because I've already locked in gains. They are paid for runners. The whole point of me holding them and not just locking them is because I'm still above my entry. I don't really have a reason to sell. I know we're going to run into resistance. My goal is to get up to the next target, right? We got up to $8 today, but we didn't go below my entry. I'm holding these to try to get to $10 or $12, right? It's not smart to try to hold your entire position from $3.50 to $12. You should lock at each good push, and it affords you the peace of mind to let the runners run, right? That's a great point, Richie. Thanks for pointing that out.
For sure. That's something we're going to always stress here, to scale in and to scale out. Buy one contract first. See how it does at our beast zone, right? You can pick up more and get an average down towards bottom beast, and then it rips. You're looking good.
Yeah, every single trade that I take and call out to you guys, I'm going to be getting in on a good push. I'm going to be locking some up. I'm going to have an in my head at least where I'm going to get out of that trade. If I got in here, lock some up there, and it goes lower, I'm out. I'll look for my next entry off of the next key level, right? Yep, this is the basis of scalping options. This is also the basis of swinging options. I mean, big money is not coming in on Friday, loading up and holding until expiration without locking some profits, right? Big money is going to come in. They're going to load it in our beast zone. They're going to get their gaps and their spikes, and they're going to lock profit. And that's what causes all of these pullbacks, right? It gets back to the beast zone where they load it up. Here they are again. They're going to load it up again. So even if you're swinging, scalping, this is just, this is basic account management to push your portfolio further. So hopefully this review helped, and I'll let it go back over to prep now. But I want to ask, is this all making sense for some of our folks that have had questions, weren't sure where to find beast numbers, weren't sure how to get them into your options charts? And yeah, Hank, I mean, you can if you, so I only take trades off of beast levels. I don't always wait for the bottom beast. For me, the top beast is the important one. The bottom beast is just because sometimes we overswing things, especially based on the strike we're looking at. In this, for instance, on Tesla, it never got to bottom beast, so you never would have been in that trade. But I got in around main beast, and I made a double, and, other good gains on it. What I tend to do, once we arrive at beast, let's look back on Friday, we fall through beast, so we're at bottom, so I pick some up there. But let's just say we started the day way up here, and we're slowly fading to beast. There are times where I'll pick up one at the top, in case we hit beast and take back off. But then as we settle down into beast, I'll wait for the bottom, and I'll load up 2 or 3. So I've sized in 1 higher, 2 or 3 lower, makes my average price closer to the low. Then when it gets back going again, I basically did get in near the bottom of beast, but I sized in. It's a little different mentality. Still wondering about particular strike selection because each night we have a choice of them both on call and put side, the closest to the price or the more round number. Yeah, but Nasir, you do have all strikes output to you every night. So not just the PTs and the few that I hand select for you. You do have all strikes at your disposal to pick and choose and watch the ones that you would like. So let's look at the 950s for today. Yeah, I chose the 1000s because risk reward, it made way more sense to me because I've been doing this a long time. I mean, frankly, I'm not dying to spend $10 on a Tesla contract. I'd much rather spend $350 on a Tesla contract and take it to $10 than to buy a Tesla contract at $10 with the hopes to try to take it to $20. Like, it requires a lot more energy to take something 10 to 20 than it does $2 to 10, right? So here's this 950 today. Again, it hit its beast numbers last Friday. Come on, give me my burgers. There we go. So, I did not play the 950s today. Why did I not play those? Why did I play the 1000s? Because I can look at the burger for today and know that if I want to play the 950s, I'm going to be spending somewhere around $14 at the bottom of the burger bun, right? $14 to try to make 28, right? So if we go from the bottom of the burger all the way up to the top, it's 14 to 28. So I can measure and say, if it gets there and I try to play it, I am basically putting up $14 to try to make a double, right? And we just looked at the 1000s, where I picked them up for $350 and took them to $8, right? So that's more than a double on a cheaper entry. These did not even go, okay, maybe they went a double if you got them at the lows, right? But on the other example, I picked it up in the burger and played it to the middle and got a double, right? So why do I not go with the 950s? Yeah, the beast numbers are higher. That tells me that it's going to cost more. The burger is up at a price that I'm just not going to pay for Tesla because I can go to a further out strike and potentially get a better risk to reward on the same move, right? So you look at the movement required or current options price versus where the zones are being calculated. No, don't worry. This is in no way frustrating. I want to try to make this as clear as I can. So, yes, I can look at these like here. I know some of you are new to TOS. But you can come in with the trendline tool, and at any point, you can pick that price, measure up to here, just to, if math isn't your strong point, right? You can say from here to here, I have a chance to make 90% or 100% or whatever. You can measure what is the potential of this trade tomorrow before I get there? So tomorrow, these 950s, if I can get them for $8 and play them to the top, that's 150%. Watch this box as I get to the top. That's 150% from bottom to top. Does it get to bottom? Does it get to top? I don't know. All I can do is watch these key levels and watch what price action does, right? If it gets down to $8, I might pick that up to try to play it to 11, to try to play it to 14, 17, 20, right? And I move around to different strikes based on what I want to spend. I don't want to spend $8 on Tesla tomorrow. But if I go look at the 1000s, and look at where that burger is going to fall, it's probably going to be something I don't mind trading. Oh, come on, you slow thing. I need to reboot TOS. It only does this when it needs a reboot because it's been open too long. Give me my burgers. There we go. So, for this trade tomorrow on Tesla, I'm going to buy the 1000s. Anywhere from $1.70 to 2.3. And I'm going to take those up. Once it hits the top bun at 5.8 from 2.3, that's a double. A little over a double, right? If it goes down to the bottom of this burger, I'm going to be watching, potentially pick it up at 40 cents just to play back to $1.70 or that 220 or 230, whatever. So each of these levels is very key. I'll be watching it tomorrow. Ooh. Oh, there we go. I'll be watching it tomorrow. And depending on where we gap up or down or whatever, if we open tomorrow at $172, I'm buying it. And I'm risking down whatever is comfortable for your risk tolerance. But if I can get it for $1.70 or $2, I'll risk it down to $1, right? I'll risk 70 cents to take $1.70 to 380, getting me my double. I'll risk 70 cents to basically make $2, right? Or more. Can I do an example of something longer term? Mike C, I already did. I covered the 455 call for this Friday. I'll load it again just to show you. But it's basically every strike that we've looked at since I started talking. They've all been calls that were picked up last Friday off of Beast. So I mean, every call, if you go load these calls and look at them with their Beast, every call for this week's expiration hit its Beast last Friday. So every call is an example of what you're asking to see right now, Mike C. So the 455 call for this Friday, 30 cents to 50 cents. Here's 30 cents. Mark this in case we come back to it. Here's 30 cents. There's 50 cents. So here's an example of a swing trade from last Friday. The 455 call for this Friday hits Beast. You swing it. You watch these burgers. Each time we get into the top zone, I'd be hitting some profit. So if I got in for anywhere from 30 to 50 cents, if we're up at $1.50, yeah, that's, you know, a 3 to a 5x. You should be locking some stuff up there. If we get up to $2.50 from 50 cents, you should be locking each of these up. So that's how I would manage something like this, being a swing trade off of our Beast zone. Every time we hit resistance per our system, the next level up, I'd be locking profits. You can even reload on pullbacks off of these levels. Always like, you know, I'm going to go long here, risking off this level with some amount of risk that I'm okay with. I'll buy it again at $1. I'll risk it down to 50 cents to go make $1 to $2, right? So yeah, there's an example. Pick it up off a beast. Every time we hit resistance, lock it up, push up, past resistance, lock it up. These burgers will kind of guide you up and guide you back down to beast in each example. Nasir, yeah, to answer your question, my numbers change and are updated, but they change by pennies. It's usually not that extreme. So even using what was output yesterday for Tesla, and I'll just confirm, so I'm speaking to the right numbers. I need the predicted trades section. Tesla. So I output the 1000s yesterday with a beast bot of $2 and a beast top of 4.2. You know, we're maybe 50 cents lower today. It's not that huge of a difference. And I output these every day, so you get incremental changes, but overall, the numbers are going to work just fine when you enter them into the tools, and they're going to put everything in the right ballpark. Let's see. You know, for instance, we're looking at these calls from last week, and I'm using the numbers from today, but they still hold true. So like these numbers can move, but they usually stay in those same ballpark. You know, this 29 cents, it might float down to 20 cents, it might float up to 40, but it's going to stay in that ballpark for the beast bottom, for the beast. So a day to 2 days out ahead, unless these share prices go crazy like Google. Yeah, you're good. And so like that's, for instance, why I haven't put out any numbers tonight, because with Google doing what it's doing, with AMD doing what it's doing, NQ it's probably going to do some gapping up. You know, I think what I would output tonight, it will probably all need to be updated in the morning to get us closer to where we're going to open. And yeah, Mike C, this is a, it can be a daily plan, but it can definitely be a multi-day plan. You know, if we look at this 455, with the PTs that were output last week, I think is when we start outputting those. So it's worth going to look. 455, where are you? That's 130, so that what was 130? 130 was Sunday. I'm looking for further back. Sorry.
You know, and Mikey, to what you're saying, you know, this is why we've been stressing like the system really is a lens on the market. Like even like we continue to learn new things with these same tools. You know, you'll hear us like, oh, put this thing on this thing, you know, or whatever. But we're doing random things with these tools and finding patterns, you know?
Yep. And I didn't find the 455, but I found the 450 that we called out last week. So let me pull that up. Because what I want to show is those take profits that we output last week. Now that those calls did get bought up at Beast and they're making moves higher away from Beast, let's check in on these profit targets to see, you know, how did we get to those. So I'm looking at this 450 for this Friday's expiration that we output last week. So let's let this sucker load up. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. We had our Beast bottom at 54 cents. Let me mark 54. We had our top at 96. Let me mark 96. 94, good enough. Okay. We pull this back over just to show you. This is the 450 call for this Friday. There's your Beast of 96 cents, Beast bottom of 54 cents. Here are these profit targets, the top one being 3.2. If you picked those up on Friday, you got up to the first one, which was 1.3. The second one was 1.6. So you hit, here, sorry. See if I can crunch these so that we can kind of see both. Crunchy crunch. There we go. Okay. So they got up to the, jeez Louise. There we go. They got up to profit targets 1 and 2. There's 170, so they got through profit targets 1 and 2. Now we got 212 and 266. Here's 212. 266 did not get hit till day 2. 3.2 got hit on day 2. So, just to give you an idea, we didn't get through all of our profit targets in the first day. They can be profit targets for the first few days. And as we update these strikes through, even after they tap Beast, the profit targets keep moving up with price action. So, the profit targets can help when it becomes a multi-day trade because we don't always hit them all in the first day. All right, there we go. I think I've gotten through all questions. I appreciate everybody's question. Like, none of this, please, I want you to know, none of this was frustrating. Like, I want to get through all of this and make sure it is very clear to help folks, right?
And I mean, that was great. That was so good, man.
And there you go. Yeah, thanks, Herb. He kind of gave an example marking those different profit targets. So yeah, I'll turn it back over to Richie for some prep.
Let's prep in the AM, bro. It's been a long sesh. I'm sure.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it is getting a little late.
Posted out here, yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Guys, it's gonna be wild, in the morning. We'll see.
Yep. Well, we will cut it there. We will happily do some more of these sessions. We'll do one once a week just to give everybody a refresher and answer any new questions as you get more and more used to the system.
Yeah, this will be posted to YouTube like immediately.
Yep, this will be posted on YouTube immediately. I'm going to go ahead and end the recording now because I think we don't have any more questions. So this
Yeah, got it.
this should convert straight over to a replay. Thanks everybody for attending. If you want to stick around, I might prep a few names, but I'm going to do a live prep in the morning at 8 a.m. for everybody. So, and I will most likely output all the beast stuff around 6:30 in the morning. Kind of want to see where we end up on a lot of these names.